So, kids, here we are again in the garage. I don't have any coffee. I drank all the coffee that I got at McKitty's yesterday, so we have to make a coffee run later, and also probably a bunch of other things to get, sandwich or something. So, anyway, I started thinking of my old friend Bob Bosch. I don't know why he's in there, but you had to know this guy. You had to love him. Everybody loved this guy because you can't do anything else but love him. So he calls me. He gets up. He moves up to the country. He's up in Greenwood Lake, New York. So he's gonna buy a boat. So buys a boat, and he wants me to go on a boat. I don't go on boats, ships, ferries, nothing, because immediately if I go on, it's gonna fucking sink. That's a gimme right there. I don't go in the pool. I don't go in lakes. Most water I get on me is a shower, and I take a shower once a week, whether I need it or not. Even in the summer, whether I need it or not, I take it once a week. So he gets a boat. He's on Greenwood Lake, and he's like, Chief, you have to come. That's the way he talks. Always a mouth over like that, tongue like that. So, Chief, you got to come up on the boat. Why, Bob? Why do I have to come on the boat? Well, I got a new prop, and I changed the pitch on the prop. So I'm probably going to get another 5 horsepower with this new prop. I don't care if you get 5,000 horsepower on that prop. I ain't, I ain't going. That's another thing with him. I ain't going. So that's another story in itself. The whole I ain't going thing. So anyway, the chief and his project. So chief comes up, moves up to this house in Bumfuck in New York State. So he says he's got all these trees around it, right? So he wants to cut the trees down, which is a good move because he was afraid the trees are going to fall over in a storm and smash his house. So he goes, "Can you come up and help me cut these trees down?" "Yeah, sure. I don't care. So I'll come up." I don't. I know nothing about cutting trees down. Nothing. I'm not a botanist or arborist or whatever that thing is. So I go up. These fucking trees are high, man. Right? So I'm like, holy shit, I don't know. And they're close to the house, close to the house. So I got my friend Paul up, who is a great hunter and fisherman and everything else. So let's see. So I get a whole bunch of texts and stuff, so I'll have to get on that later on. So anyway, I said to Paul, I said, "Can you shoot an arrow up there to the top of the tree?" Yeah, no problem. So he comes over and we tie a string like a small string onto the arrow, and he shoots the arrow up on top of the tree. All right, beautiful. So then we put a stronger string on that string, and eventually we work up to a pretty good sized rope. So we got the rope looped around the top of the tree, and then both ends of the rope are on the ground. And so, and the chief, being as fat as he is, he's not really that fat. We just do fat and ball jokes. So I figured if him and Paul are pulling on the rope, I'll cut down, I'll be the chainsaw and cut the tree down. I figured this is going to work pretty good. But anyway, Robin, his wife, well, she clears out. She gets out of Dodge, takes the 2 kids out of the house, and goes down to her mother's in Clifton. The guy next door moves his Harlem Davidson out of the shed because he's afraid we're going to drop the tree on the shed. All completely good natured. Everybody's happy. Nobody was, the guy with the Harlem Davidson, he didn't give a shit about the shed. He just cared about the Harlem Davidson. And by the way, FYI, Harlem Davidsons are the fastest motorcycles on the planet. So we start cutting the tree. So we cut one tree down, bang, it falls on the ground. Perfect, beautiful. So we cut, I think, 3 down, and we had a perfect luck. Didn't hit anything, no damage to anything. So the chief has a wood burn stove in the house, and it's the beginning of winter. So we figure we'll cut the wood up and into plate stuff that he can get into his wood burning stove, right? So I got a stump. I'm out by the road, and I'm lopping off the branches and the stalk of the tree, the trunk of the tree, into sections that he can get in his wood burning stove. So I can't hear anything. I got the chainsaw's going. So I'm cutting it off and stacking it, and the guys are moving it, taking it, to dry out and cure and everything. So the chainsaw runs out of gas. Well, I had the gas right here. Where's the gas? I don't know. So it's on the other side of the yard. All right, so I go over, get the gas, and cut away. Again, it runs out of gas. So I'm like, all right, and the gas is on the other side of the yard. So I'm like, all right, I'll go get it. So um, the third time, it's all the way on the other side of the yard. Like, what the fuck? What? So I go, Chief, are you moving the gas every time? Yeah. Why are you moving the gas? I need gas for the chainsaw to cut up this wood. You're using all my gas. I'm cutting your fucking trees. Hello? So that's just one chief story. The other chief story is we had this guy in the shop, the Ripper. This guy was gorgeous, but he only dated women that were like linebackers for the Green Bay Packers. They were like 350-pound linebackers that the Ripper went out with. So the Ripper moves in to a flood area, and you can't do anything in these flood zones. You have to let the water go. You can't put fences up. You can't do anything, and nobody has a basement. They just have crawl spaces. So the Ripper, anything that happened to the Ripper in his home life was public knowledge in the shop. First rule in the shop: never give anybody any ammunition. Never tell anybody about anything that's happening in your personal life. Ever don't know nothing. So, and I'll explain to you why on that in a second. So, the Ripper comes in one day, and he was one of these guys that was always going 100 miles an hour and not getting anything done. So he goes, I got termites in my crawl space. I'm like, everybody's like, oh, what are you going to do? You got to get an exterminator. So the chief hears that. He's got a crawl space in his tenement. So, Chief, what are you doing tonight? I said, well, I was working on cars really steadily at that point after working on Saturdays and Sundays because I had a mortgage to pay. And I was just a single Sammy, so I didn't have anybody to help me. So, what are you doing? What are you doing tonight? So I'm like, I don't know. You gotta come up, gotta clear out the crawl space. I might get termites. I said, Chief, I got stuff to do. I can't just go up. Oh, come on, Chief, you gotta get it. So anyway, long story short, up I go. It's 110 degrees out, and he can't at this point. He was heavy, but he wasn't that heavy. He just couldn't fit under the crawl space, and I was a slender guy at the time, so I could go into the crawl space. So I'm hauling all this shit out, and he doesn't live in a flood zone. He's up in bumfuck, in the sticks. There's no water. It's not going to flood. He's like 4,000 feet up in the air. Nothing floods up there except the ozone layer. So we don't really know what goes on in these places. So I'm humping this. It's 100 degrees underneath there. Spider webs, bugs, dirt. I'm covered. I'm fucking filthy. Sweat. The dirt's sticking to me. The spider webs are sticking to me. The bugs are sticking to me. So finally, I'm hauling this shit out. And I'm working in there with a flashlight in my mouth because you can't see jack shit under there. So finally, I come across 2 or 3 bags of completely cured concrete because it's, moisture dry. Anyway, this stuff's like a rock. So poor Robin's out there, his wife. We used to call her his lovely, voluptuous, attractive young wife. And so she's out there, and God, you have to bless this woman. There's a spot in heaven for this woman because she put up with this guy. So the last thing I haul out is the bags of concrete. So I remember she's out there, and I just don't. It's late now. It's like 8 o'clock, 8:30. I'm done. D-O-N-E, done. Hot, dirty, done, stinking. Just want to go home, take a shower, sit in the air conditioning, maybe pop a cold one, So I hump these 3 bags of concrete out, and Robin looks at the concrete, complete rocks. I look at the concrete. We look at each other, and I go, Robin, termites don't eat this. She goes, I know, Bill, I know. Just so enough said on that. And then I'll have to get on another video about why you never discuss anything at the office, plant, shop, school, or store. But I got other stuff to do right now, so I'll have to get back to you on that. So remember, like and subscribe. Transfer.